Welcome back to Black and White Life Coaching. It is Sunday night. We are back for another video. I'm Brad Richard, and I want to welcome everybody back to the channel. This is going to be a fairly short video this evening, so I just want to give you a heads up on that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon in the bottom down there so you're notified of future videos. So let's get started. This week's video, time to disconnect. Question mark. Is it time to disconnect? And what is disconnecting? Just want to basically come at this from the perspective of emotionally disconnecting. And if done excessively, or if done in a repetitive manner, emotionally disconnecting can be harmful. So I would encourage you not to make a habit of this. But sometimes we get to a place in life with our we're working on our goals, our dreams, our families, our jobs, the things that we want to do and accomplish, and sometimes we just need to unplug. We need to disconnect. So the question or the title of tonight's video is time to disconnect, question mark. And only you can answer that. Only you can answer that question if it's time for you to disconnect or unplugged or be unplugged for a while. Whether that's from social media, whether that's from YouTube, whether that's from television, or just unplugging from the world around you. Okay, and disconnecting. Um, like I said, with disconnecting or emotional disconnecting, it can be harmful if we do it too often, and if we do it uh, in the form of avoidance to avoid doing something that we are supposed to be doing, or to avoid other people. But there's quite a few benefits to doing it in a positive, constructive way. And so when it comes to disconnecting, um, I just want to point out a couple of points and a couple of reasons of why you may want to think about disconnecting or unplugging every once in a while, just for a mental reset. Okay, and it's like putting your brain on airplane mode. Okay, it's temporary. You're still there, but you're kind of offline. Okay, and so that's really as simple as it gets. The act of emotionally disconnecting or unplugging. Okay, there is an aspect of it that can help you when it comes to decision making. And if you have too many things to decide on, if you're having a hard time, and if you're being indecisive, okay, doing a disconnect or a unplug and letting your mind settle down a little bit can really help in the decision making process. It's basically just giving your brain a rest. Um, Similar to, I believe the last video was meditation or a nap. It is similar to that, but it's more simple. It's more simplified than meditation, and it's simply just flipping a switch and turning your thoughts and your mind off, and disconnecting for a while, just to kind of let things settle down. You may find that that is helpful when it comes to decision making, if you just kind of ratchet it down a little bit and disconnect for a while, and then kind of come back and regroup. Okay. Um, some people actually find it uh, as a form of temporary relief. It's a short term way to cope with stress, and it's a fairly easy way to just kind of reduce any anxiety or any nervousness that you're having, is just simply to unplug and do a reset. Okay, so is it a time to disconnect? You have to answer that question for yourself. It also comes into play when you're setting boundaries. We've talked about that before on the channel. Boundaries with yourself, boundaries with your boss, your spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, um, setting boundaries and and letting people know that you have reached your limit and you can't take no more. And once again, emotionally disconnecting temporarily and doing that disconnect or that reset can really help when it comes to establishing boundaries. And one way to establish those boundaries is by checking out, okay, and just and taking a time out. So that's another way that people are using that emotional uh, disconnect. And like I said, it's this is not a permanent thing. This is not something you want to fall in pattern where you are always just checking out to avoid stuff. And so, and I had background noise in the back. There you go. Sorry about that. And so it's not something that you want to do on a regular basis, okay? But it is something that you can do every once in a while when you get to that point where you are just tapped out, okay? Then you want to consider disconnecting for a while, okay? There's also there is emotional disconnect. There's also detachment. Okay, now emotional detachment, that's more of a psychological form of protection where you try to detach yourself from feelings and emotions and the past and detach from other people. That's something entirely different. What we're talking about tonight is just disconnecting and taking a step back, relaxing the mind, relaxing the body, and unplugging for a while just so you can regenerate. And I would recommend that if you come across some time in your day or in the evening, try disconnecting or unplugging for a few minutes and see if you don't feel a little bit better. See if it doesn't really kind of reset your position. Okay, and that's pretty much what I have for this week's video on. Is it time to disconnect? And if so, what's the best way to do that? And the best way to do that is simply unplugging and turning off your phone, turning off the TV, turning off whatever you need to disconnect from, and just be with yourself and just be in your personal bubble, personal space, and just relax there for a while. Okay, and so you have to answer the question: is it time to disconnect? You have to answer that for yourself. But when that time arises, it's a good idea to take the action of disconnecting and unplugging, and that is something that is very helpful for oneself. You'll find it to be very helpful, and so I want to encourage you to do that. Okay, and that's about all I got for this week's video. I did let you know it was going to be a little shorter video. It's a little later. Plus, I had an interruption just pop in there during the recording. But you know what? That's a distraction, and I'm going to just disconnect from that interruption and keep going. So that's all I got. I will be back on Thursday with a Thursday night short. And I will also be back next Sunday with another life coaching video on the channel for you. And I hope you can join me next Sunday. Hope you can check out the Thursday short because Thursday night, I'll tell you ahead of time, give you a heads up of what I'm going to talk about next Sunday. So, with that being said, I think I will wrap it up. I want to say good night to everyone out there. And as a short recap, tonight we spoke about, or we asked the question, is it time to disconnect? And what does that mean? And And really, it's up to you to decide if it is time to disconnect or to do a reboot or an unplug or just flip the off switch. Okay. And take a 5 and relax. Okay. So, with that being said, I'll end like I always do. Love your little guy or your little girl, your little gal. Take care of them. Take care of yourself because they need you more than you can imagine. So take care of yourself and have a wonderful week. And I will talk to y'all on Thursday night and next Sunday. So for now, bye.